and succulent growers, it's Lynn here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the differences between regular potting soil and cactus soil. Now I've got two different soil mixes here on these two trays. The first one is regular potting soil such as houseplant soil, and this one here is cactus soil, the one I've made up myself. And as you can see, they're both of these soil mixes look very, very different. Cactus soil is sort of very dry and quite powdery to feel, and the regular potting soil is sort of moist, and as you can see there, if I hold it, it sort of stays a little bit damp in my hands. Very different to the cactus soil, which just falls freely from my hand. Now, I'm often being asked, they say, Lynn, can I just use normal houseplant soil with my cacti? Why do I have to use a special cactus soil when I've got loads of houseplant soil that I use with all my other houseplants? Well, the reason for that is, as you can see, they're very different types of soil. Regular potting soil often is high in peat. Not a problem for the majority of houseplants, but it is a big problem for cacti. And also the regular potting soils, like the typical commercial houseplant mixes, are often contain wetting agents as well. As you can see this here, if I hold that, it stays quite sort of damp as well. And they put these wetting agents to these soils so the soil doesn't dry out too fast. The majority of normal type of houseplants that aren't desert plants do like to be kept in moist soil, obviously. They don't like to be kept in dry soil. So it's a very, very different case entirely for cactus and succulents. They like a soil that dries out very quickly and also is very free draining, so once it's been watered, the soil dries out, not only drains out the pot pretty quick, but dries out pretty quick as well. And that's why I don't recommend using regular potting soil for potting up your cacti and succulents. Now, this is a soil mix I've made myself, but you can get some good quality commercial cactus soils. You just need to be careful if you're buying a commercial cactus soil that it is a good quality one. And I always recommend it still adding some extra grit as well to them. I find it much easier to make my own cactus soil mix, and I'll link up above to a video I've made on how to make your own cactus and succulent soil. And that soil mix is sort of good for the majority of cacti and succulents. Some of my cacti, the ones that have tubers, such as Ariocarpus and other types of the sort of harder to grow cacti with the Mexican ones, then I will use extra pumice or a bit of lava rock and a bit more extra drainage in. But for the majority of cacti, this sort of soil mix does well here. And as I say, it's a mixture of sand, it's a mixture of loam, it's a mixture of grit, and a bit of pumice in there as well. And it's very, very well draining. And the houseplant soil is not, as you can see, and also high peat as well in the soil. A little bit of peat added to cactus soil isn't really harmful, but because with regular potting soils, houseplant soils, they do have a high proportion of peat, it's very bad for cactus roots. Often when you buy a new cactus, it's often potted up in houseplant soil, typical, and it won't do well in that type of soil for long, because not only does peat tend to dry out like cement over the winter months when you're not watering your cacti, it means when you go to water your cactus again that it's hard to re-wet it again. It's just horrible. I hate peat, and it's something I avoid. I'd use a bit of peat maybe with my epiphytic cacti, but that's a different thing, different entirely to the desert type of cacti and succulents. So that's the two differences in the soil, and why I don't recommend using regular soil to pot up your cactus. Always use cactus soil. And as I say, if you want to know how to make your own, do check out that video I've made. Links, as I mentioned, are up above, and they'll be down below in the video description. So I hope you found that video useful, guys. And if you haven't done already, please do subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Desert Plants of Avalon. And for more growing tips on how you can care for and grow your cacti and succulents, then do check out my website, desertplantsofAvalon.com. I want to send you lots of love and happy growing from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye.